What up? What is up? E aí, eu agora tenho um settlement. Do manage um settlement. Isto conta como a minha base. Eu nem preciso de... Que cena, isto agora vai ser muito tempo. Pus ali uma motinha. 39%. O que é isto? Nunca quis tive. What the fuck are you talking about? O que é que se faz com Activated Copper? Chromatic Metal também? Isto é bué útil. Agora tenho um Personal Refiner. Significa que pode ser na minha backpack mesmo. Chromatic Metal parece que tem sempre muita... muito demand. Por que eu não faço de tudo? Eu ia fazer de tudo. Para já, não há qualquer tipo de manage que eu possa fazer ou... Por isso, vou usar este teleporte para ir para a minha base. Milona. Que milona. Depois daquele Submarine Fiasco? Depois daquele Submarine Fiasco... não sei se quero voltar a ir para debaixo d'água. Fiasco, estava frio. Starship fuel vai sempre dar jeito. Oh, I can move. Cool, I can move from here. I want to move technology. fuck is he talking about? I think I'm gonna dismantle this. Yeah, and I'm gonna dismantle the other two. Somehow this becomes better. Se esse jetpack vou juntar com o resto. Não é? Olha, estão os três mais fixes. Isto parece dar buff. Uma vez precisei uma vez desta gauntlet. Wiring Loom vou à loja. Advanced Computer esqueci como é que se faz. Falta-me um antimatter, cool. It should be Tranquilo. Falta-me Wiring Loom, são dois. Can I move this? It doesn't let me. Space station. Any will do. What the fuck is this song? Oh, cão, hey. What the fuck? I just sold my only. Zelda. Zelda. Anda cá, Zelda. Então, o que é que se passou? Hã? Ei, anda cá.
Got on rubber boots up in here. What's this all about?
Valkyrios! Aqui fazer umas compras, meu. Estou aqui no espaço, meu. Vais passar. Shit, I can't get this shit. Então o que é que... qual é o plano, meu? O que é que se vai fazer hoje? Electronic? Agora tenho um settlement. A base nunca mais fica feita, que é para eu ir lá. Jolly Outposts. Posso ir ali para usar coisas. Não, eu não vi muito, eu estou estranho. Vi só um Don Quixote. Não, se vi só um bocadito de nada mesmo. Geralmente quando entro, digo alguma coisa. Pronto, tem alguns espaços. Só fazer aqui algum oxigênio. O que aconteceu? Estragou-se? Quase fica maluca. It is what it is, pá. Eu quero dar descarga a isto. Tudo que não é top tier, caguei. Agora, devia ir à Anomaly. Vou ao meu settlement, depois vou à Anomaly. Provavelmente os gajos já voltaram, não sei. Que horas são? 9. Isto agora está a ficar. Está a ficar um mobile game em que esperas por coisas enquanto fazes outras coisas. Isto não tem água? Preciso de água. I discovered this. Manage your settlement. The administration terminal in the overseer's office allows you to direct your settlement, return regularly to direct construction, set key policies, or resolve disputes between the citizens. Settlement status can be seen from its central interface or from the administration terminal. The status interface allows the daily collection of surplus resources. Resource quality and the amount varies with the settlement. Well-managed settlements will produce additional goods. Current building project will complete in 22 minutes. I am the overseer. It is I. Está ali a minha motinha. Está aqui o portal. Como é que é, pessoal? Precisa de alguma coisa? O Overseer chegou, pessoal. Productivity não está lá muito boa, mas é o que é, maninho. Tem ali a minha moto do Batman. Hold on, isto é a minha nave? Espera, meteram a minha nave aqui. Que caralho. Enquanto não fazem a... Porque aquilo vai ser uma base de... Uou. Desculpa, vai ser uma cena de aterragem. Às 9h36. Não, 37. Às 9h37 vou acontecer coisas com os settlers. É bom que aquilo me dê dinheiro, meu. Foda-se. Tá, mas que é esta merda. Sylvia Ulkakova is initializing a mission. Já não venho aqui a Anomaly há muito tempo. Starship Research, por acaso realmente? Foda-se, e é barato. I should install that shit. Photon Cannon. Eu não tenho Phase? Eu não tenho Phase Beam. Deixa eu ver a descrição do Phase Beam. Vulnerable to overheating. É tipo lifesteal. Extreme Destruction. Extremely effective against unshielded starship. Pois não há nada para fora um cannon, pois não. Flight Assist Reduction. Anti-probe countermeasures. Isto é para se eu quisesse ser um smuggler. Fuck, sai da frente. What's a hyperspace power unit? Livestock. That should be awesome. Ok. Mais uns blueprints. Which is nice. Alguma coisa para a moto andar mais depressa? Ah, coisas para o Minotauro. Este AI Pilot era a melhor cena. Terrain Manipulation. Pois é aqui que eu venho melhorar o Minotauro. Minotaurio. Also, yeah, I have to agree that man, no armor? Há outras coisas que eu tenho que construir. Não é que queira, tenho. Portanto, eu tenho Emerald Mirror. What is that? Hey, what is this? It's for a photon cannon. Eu não posso ter essas coisas aqui, isto é estúpido. Estas coisas têm que estar juntas. Ah, tá ali, cadmium. Cadmium Drive e depois acho que a seguir é Emerald. This way I can get to the... This is how I can travel. This guy is boring. These are many nanites. Posso fazer mais um upgrade ao Mac. Mas em termos de moto não há nada, pois não. Depois que só a faltar não. Agora preciso do wiring loom a dar com um pau. Agora, tenho uma questão nova. Como é que se arranja nanites? Tipo, mesmo muitos nanites. Uh-oh. Já me fodi. Space Station. Olha a janela. Ainda hoje pensei em ti. A Melga chegou. És tu. Pensei em ti quando estava a abrir a persiana. Como é que é, Aleph? O que é que vamos ver hoje, meu? Bye. Comprarem uns 5 Iron Looms. Pronto, agora vamos ver o que é que se passa aqui. Este gajo precisa de um. Ah, quero vender o Hadal Core. Turn it up. Não é Exosuit, é Starship. Yeah. Ok, este Starship. Eu aqui na Starship. Vou andar com esta cena incompleta. Launch System Recharge. Preciso de 5 wiring looms. Bye. Se bem que eu vou precisar de mais wiring loom que isso. Para outras coisas. E isto são todos os drives. Mais, acho que quero fazer upgrade à chip para ter mais espaço. É muito guito, mas it is what it is, né? Onde é que está? Está aqui. Pois a nave agora vale muito mais, não é? Na technology é muito melhor. É fixo o dinheiro. É, mas tem que ser, tem mesmo que gastar. Que se foda bem tudo. Os mãos largas do caralho. Infelizmente tem que ser. Ok. Efficient thrusters. Pois isto não faz sentido estar aqui. Isto tem que estar aqui. E isto faz favor, asa. E agora... que esta merda? Something recharger, que se foda. Let's go. Resonator, animator. Tá, maninho? Oh, eu preciso de mais 4. E o magnetic resonator. Nem percebi quantos é que precisava. 2. Okay, this should be good. Automatic recharging. Less launch cost. That's also good. Dynamic, não sei o que. Improving launch cost and boost. Isso quer dizer que se calhar este Photon Cannon devia vir para aqui e isto devia vir para aqui. Este consumable, sei lá, para aqui. Isto é para quê? Photon Cannon Upgrade. Onde é que está o meu Photon Cannon? Está aqui. Anda cá. Aliás, deixa isto aqui. Isto aqui. Isto aqui. O que mais é que eu posso fazer? Something. Sublight Amplifier. I don't know what this means. Pulse Drive Power. Isto quer dizer que se calhar isto devia para aqui. Isto para aqui. Isto para aqui. E o tal Pulse Drive Power aqui. Fica a faltar o Magnetic. Ok, e o outro? Tenho mais um upgrade. O que é este upgrade? Photon Cannon. Será que isto consegue estar aqui? Oh, estou a ficar sem Trichioco. Quantos é que eram? Uh-oh. This is a big uh-oh. How do I hermetic seal? Quantos é que eu preciso? 2. Esta falta de tritium é que não sei, meu. Recebi naninhos nanolas. Assim de repente estou a dar um super upgrade a tudo. Andei o jogo todo sem. Mas também, to be honest, ele não me estava. Ele não me estava a exigir nada disso. Ok. Preciso de um magnetic resonator. Ok. I need 8 ionized cobalts. How would I go on and do that? Do I have cobalt? I do. Isto é um 2 para 1. Quanto é que eu faço? Vai 500. I need 8. Vou sacar o 8 já. Pronto. Ok. Era 3. Oh, que caralho. Até já, Manolo. Depois temos que conversar, meu. Sobre o quê? Não sei. Sobre o que tu quiseres. Ok. I have an amplifier, whatever that means. Ok, a nave agora supostamente é super mega hiper. Ah, peraí, eu consigo ter o tritium todo que quiser com isto? Tree, whatever. Isto acho que tem que ir para um sítio qualquer específico. Está aqui, non-linear optics. It's done. Heat dispersion. My photon cannon is now better. I guess. I don't know. Só, olha. Só quando me meter como piratas é que percebo, não é? Já me livrava disto. Menos 14%. Ah, que se foda. Vamos aqui ao catálogo ver. Emerald, está aqui. Search for a green solar system. Hey man, I will. Cool, tem aqui. Tem uma station? Era fixe que tivesse. Quero mais um upgrade. Alright. Farmar algum tritium? Data injection? What does that mean? All planets in green systems have large emerald deposits. Ui, vai haver porrada? They found gold. Cool. Fight me, bitch. Onde é que eles estão? Ui, mas está a haver um... Wait, already? Also, aumentar a minha crew? Ah, tenho uma base, nice. Mas como é que é, Aleph? Conta-me aí a tua vida, meu. O que é que fizeste este verão? Okay, there's a recruitable frigate. Let's see what these guys are all about. It's an exploration specialist. Limpaste o quarto? Ai, ganda Jordan Peterson, sim senhor. Que se foda, meu, vamos acreditar. E então, é precisamente isso que o Jordan Peterson... Clean your room! Achas que é para... Achas que é para seres mauzinho? Não, achas que não é para beneficiar a tua vida? Ele pode ser maluco dos cornos, mas ao menos percebe alguma coisa sobre limpar quartos. Ora bem, a única coisa que eu quero daqui... Isto aqui é só gunas, meu. Eu não quero falar com os gunas, eu só quero é dar upgrade ao meu... exosuit. Pode ser technology. Ou... epá. Tá bem. Mas olha, tá mais fixe? Te sentes-te mais fixe agora? Já não tem aquelas coisas que parece que limpa a alma. É mesmo estranho, não é? Uma estante de parede. Tipo esta. Ai não, de parede. Opa, não compres mais livros, meu. Deixa estar. Eu nem vou eu vou resistir à tentação de sequer ir ali. Ok, mudei de prateleira, ok. Portanto, mudando de sistema, pude ter mais um slot no inventory, que é sempre bom. A minha nave agora é muito boa, não? Parece-me que sim. Also, I fucking need tritium. Also, I need emerald, so let's go. High sentinel activity means good stuff for me. Provavelmente vai ter mucho treasure. Mucho tesoro. Mucho tesoro es muy bueno para el bronítico. Eu sou el bronítico. What the fuck? Isto é o planeta anos 40? Não tem cor? É o planeta Noir. Pronto, lá vou ficar deprimido, caralho. Isto é para ganhar guita aqui? Gangster. 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 Salvage data. Gangster. Exosuit Starship. Por favor, eu preciso de nanomachines. Wait, não é nanomachines, pois não? Nanites? Nanites, é isso. Por favor, nanomachines. Oh boneco, estás de costas, meu. Os gajos pensam que é o LeBron James ou caralho a fazer truques. Aquilo é um Predator? Não. Começo a achar que os Predators só vêm em quests específicas. Emerald Deposit, é aquilo que eu... Foi para aquilo que eu vim. Espera, isto é um Predator? Não, é um Hostile. Matei-o. Trying to please kill predatory creatures. Ah, ok, afinal... Magnetized Ferrite, wait. Oh, Lev, eu já sei, tu gostas é de outros jogos, não é? That's ok. Cada um tem o seu... Como é que é? Cada macaco no seu galho. Eu disse em Lisboeta que é para tu perceberes. Vai. Meu, isto parece beats que eu fazia no Fruity Loops, meu. What the fuck? The fuck is this, man? Lisboeta? Não, deixa de dizer Lisboeta. Não é? A parte mais importante é o Mas porquê que este planeta é noir? Alguém responda. Metem um Moai para eu perceber o que é que está a acontecer. What the fuck? What? Mano, toma lá mais uns tiros, ó filha da puta. Estás-te a meter aqui com o G? Estás-te a meter aqui com o G num planeta noir? Je ne pense que pas. Je ne pense que pas, filho da puta. Filho de pute. Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre. Esta música se diretamente uma OST do Need for Speed. Foda-se, olha que o Need for Speed tem música mais fixe. Geralmente tinha. Putain! Zutalor! Eu não. Esquece, não faço a mínima. Se calhar estás a chamar nomes à minha mãe agora, eu nem sei. Sacrableu, isso aprendi no Tintin. Ui, quem é que vem aí? Vem alguém foder uma boca? Anyway. Isto tem tesouros ou nem por isso? Este planeta não tem tesouros? Vamos assumir que o Hexaberry é a coisa mais fixe do mundo. Um dia vou precisar, não é? Quantos Imerílios é que eu preciso? Pai, 300 milhões, não é? Esta está-me a soar mais a Need for Speed. Com estes drops e não sei o quê. Metem uns neons no carro, não é? Imerílio. Aquilo é que eu preciso. Royalty free? É. Exactly. Ainda vou ser DMCA na mesma. O depósito do Imerílio. Anyway, a minha chip está próxima. Deixa eu ver se já tenho Imerílios suficientes. Out of range? Está aqui ao meu lado, mano. Espera aí que eu não tenho balas, meu. Vem calma, deixa. O que é esta merda que é que eu faço? Pronto, já posso viajar para... Já posso viajar para onde? Para Blue Stellar Bodies. O Imerílio era para vir aos Green Stellar. Yeah. E através do Imerílio posso ir para o... Foi este o flow. Agora, o que é que isto me está a dizer para construir? Não quero comida, meu. Quero matar os bichos. Filho da puta, anda cá. Não, boi. Não estou de comer. Se queres, morres. Maníaco, vem aqui ao meu planeta. Porque sim, ele estava aqui primeiro, mas tipo... A partir do momento em que eu cheguei aqui, o planeta é meu. Foda-se. Sou um ser humano ou não? É tudo meu. T-pose, meu. Impor dominância. Colonialismo, claro. Estamos com esta merda. Acho que vou arranjar mais Imerílio. Aproveitar que ainda estou aqui. Quão longe é que ele está? Que puta de pássaro, meu. É uma avestruz? Estás a abanar muitas asas no meu planeta, meu. Não sei se gosto. Estás a abusar. Oh, já andei a roubar o Imerílio daqui, meu. Olha-me este. And stay dead. Buried cash. Sanctity of nature. Enganei-me. Mais uns Imerílios. high likelihood of starship combat. That's not a bad thing. Isto é um cagamelo? Da puta do cagamelo. É uma super bazooka raios laser. Olha um drone, é? Ui, tantos drones. Só quero um bocadinho de carvão. Esperem aí, estou aqui a fazer umas cenas. Olha, outra música que eu fiz no Fruity Loops quando tinha 15 anos. E se calhar esqueci-me, dei upload para a internet e agora está aqui. Parece mesmo, meu. Sounds like a Nizer special, meu. Teenager Nizer special. Não era suposto eu tirar fotos a Hazardous Flora? Oi. Pois. E lá. Consumo. Já tenho Imarília, já me posso pôr no caralho. $50 cent? Fake 50 cent? It's your birthday? It's your birthday? It's your birthday? It's your birthday? Não sei a letra. Man, os gajos põem isto royalty free só para eu usar. E depois eu estou aqui a gozar, meu, já viram? Puta de falta de respeito, meu. Era um ukulele.
Mario 64!
64. Lack of respect.
Auga, auga.
Dava trabalho ir a pé. Como assim? O LFT na tua stream? Eu não sei o que é isto, mas apetece-me ir aqui. Yeah! Yeah! O mundo está cheio de malucos. E tu és só mais um. A juntar-te ao zoológico. Como é que é? Vais trabalhar ou como é que é? Os trabalhos ou estás de folga? Atlas Interface. Frequency Apollo. Well, I got a message. It's been allowed to take in a simulation. Everything's not real. It feels like it doesn't matter, I suppose. Not if we're going to die anyway, and I've been thinking about that. If the problems of this universe are due to the Atlas crying for help, then it's been crying for a long time. Those 16 minutes, I bet we have years before we die. I've been thinking a lot about it, how we couldn't meet, even though we seem to be standing in the same place. I don't think we really were in the same location at all. I think those portals, they don't transport us, they transform us, they cut through dimensions. That's what I think anyway, it's the only way to explain it. And if the walls between worlds really are falling, maybe we'll be able to have a drink together before the apocalypse after all, say goodbye. Whatever. Am I supposed to go there? Já estás a trabalhar? I got a sequence. What does that mean? Settlement cons. Settlement conversions. Survive unknown shell. Help. Acknowledge the broadcast. Ok. É para ajudar mais uns gajos. O que é que se faz aqui sequer? Settlement status. Extreme Sentinel assault underway. Olha o Germa, está a fazer extremo. Oh, Aleph. O teu Brosef. Ui, isto faz lembrar aquela música do gajo das Levis. O boneco amarelo. Vocês lembram-se do boneco amarelo? Why does such power and knowledge crave submission? It knows my thoughts before I know them myself. Milestone Pathfinder or above. What does that mean? New product formula learned. Atlas C containing zonally shifted quasi-stellar substract. Warning, do not allow Matrix to commune with this dimensional space. I have no idea what is this for. But what? Do I leave now? What is this? The Atlas world for infinite. And it's not world, it's word. Now, should I help those motherfuckers? I should help the guys. But where's the settlement? Teleport to your settlement. Oh. I can probably teleport from here. Para a minha coisa, como é que se chama? Para o meu outpost deve dar. E para o meu outpost barra settlement. Olha, olha. Está-se a uivar toda a puta. Vou meter mais um aqui, não? Antes do cargo, vou meter aqui. Yeah. E agora teleportar-me para ajudar os meus bros. Digo eu. No meu settlement. Eu gosto mesmo da ideia de ter um settlement. Mas não gosto da ideia de ser um... tipo um mobile game. Quer dizer, não me importava mais, nos tiers mais à frente, mas... para fazer uma... como é que é? Para fazer uma... something... como é que se chama aquilo dos helicópteros? Uma heli... para fazer um helipad, mas para... Oi? Então, a porrada, como é que está? Ok. Para fazer um helipad... demorou para aí 1 hora, ou vai demorar 1 hora, ou... Poralho. 10 remaining. Where's my boltcaster? Se não aparecerem os healers, basta o boltcaster e está andando moto. Irei. Quantos é que faltam? What the fuck? Um mech? Oh, isto parece o coisa que eu tenho. O Titan? O Minotaur. Espera aí, e o Super Stunner Motherfucker? Blaze Javelin. Holy shit, this is like a boss. He gets stunned anyway. I should use my Minotaur. Não tenho neste planeta, though. Se calhar devia tê-lo neste planeta. Boltcaster. Final boss. Uau! Não estava à espera que eles metessem um boss. Anomalous. Receive the anomalous broadcast? What does that mean? New objective for what? Administration terminal, okay. Que raio de música é esta? É fixe. I have shut down your little major domo for now. Robots cannot be trusted. Not with what I have to tell you. Anyone with their eyes open should see a sentinel spike of that magnitude, even if they weren't spying on you. What happened? Did they leave any interesting tidbits behind? See what you can find, then come to the anomaly. I have to know more. What is he talking about? Free Aronium. Docking area, that's the name. How do you get Aronium? And better yet, what's Aronium? Tenho que viajar para um sistema diferente, provavelmente. Is it this guy, last guy? Given the right tools and several exotic components, you may be possible to repair it. Meet with Iteration Arxis. still need the Aronium. What does he want? What does he want? Oh, this is okay. I went to the wiki. I went to the wiki to know something. Por que eu ia usar o Ionized Cobalt anyway? Alguém sabe? Pera aí. Quantos passos tenho? Oh, cão. Cão. Come on. Come on, man. Peraí, isto é tudo jetpack? Where's this? Where's my shield? Wait, hold on. Wait, this is wrong. No sé. Okay. Uh-oh. It's a lot of money. I need 3 of them. Fuck, I need to talk to these motherfuckers. Atlas sequence? What the fuck are you talking about? Dude! Log. No, it's the... Where's the guy? I can go to my settlement? Hey, what the fuck do you want? My network sees much of its own. First tell me in your own words exactly what happened at your settlement. They have never shown mercy to those who try to build on planets. It is a constant. It is new, unexpected, must learn more. Tethys holds the drone in their hands, gently turning it over and over with a softness that I had not anticipated. Forgive me, traveler, they have chased me for so long, but I have never seen one so close. Perhaps this one is our key. I could restart it, remap its mind, our own link to their infernal hive. Oh no, now he wants components? Speak to the other traveler iterations? What? These drones are not a malicious force some imagine them to be, Portal Adept. I believe the Sentinels to be a vital life preserver. I'll gift you this phylactery. Dude. Fuck the Hadon Krakra. Mila. Tica desse cá. Ei. Anyway, onde é que está o terceiro gajo? More like segundo. E terceiro. I wish I had like a Giga Sprint. I agree with this guy. This guy's like, dude. The fucking Sentinels, they're fucking insane, dude. This guy's cute. Oh, Kindred, be careful. Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to Polo. Pussy. Yeah. Sentinel Flare off. Sentinel Communicator, specialist device created by Iteration Tethys. Its primary function is to hail your reconstructed Sentinel drone. Select the device and use Activate Flare to signal the drone. While this flare is active in your exosuit inventory, the drone will stay by your side while planet-side. I have a friend now? How do I know it's activated? How do I know it's active? Field test. I can teleport immediately. Let me see. Well, is there a way to teleport but not immediately? My settlement, that's what I want. Can I manage these guys? Are they happy? Are they unhappy? I don't know. Eu agora sou presidente de uma cidade, meu. Antes dos drones, deixa-me só deixar aqui esta coisa. Quanto tempo é que vai demorar? 1 hora. Holy shit. Telemóvel game, telemóvel game, telemóvel game. Seething? Is that a 4chan meme? Is there anybody here coping? Any copers in chat? Fault detected, reverting. Core cognitive functions available, higher processing disabled. fix of the glass. Oh my god. What? I don't know what's his problem. Sure. Off planet, okay. Well, here we go. Olha da maneira que gasta a hora, não é? Mas este settlement ainda é só uma despesa, meu. Não estou a curtir. 1 hora, meu. Então o que é que se passa por aqui? E mais uma tempestade. Tenho que aproveitar estes crystals. Não sei quanto tempo é que esta tempestade vai durar, mas eu quero roubar isto. Ui, mais um Need for Speed, meu. Está aqui um drone, é? Espera, este drone é meu? Eu nem estou a apanhar nada, meu. Fucking Extreme Storm. Ui, está aqui um Minotauro. Mas que é? Suposto a foder-lhe a boca? Nodes destroyed. How do I destroy a node? Is this a node? Guards remaining? Oh my god. Blaze Javelin. Ai merda, ai merda. Olha, olha. Estou preso. I need to regroup or whatever. How do I protect myself? Well, I have this. Quem me dera para mudar a ordem das... O que eu acho é que tenho que estar sempre a dar strafinho. Strafolas. Isto também há de ajudar. Desta fica stun locked, ou caralho. Blaze Evelyn OP. Que se foda, meu. The terminal transfers data to my exosuit, a set of Sentinel hardframe schematics. I feel a great sense of relief. New technology, Sentinel hardframe, right arm. A collection of salvaged components from Sentinel hardframe, reconditioned to fit the Minotaur. Holy shit. Deploys high velocity stun projectiles. Holy shit. Okay, the drone is my friend now. Sódio? Já passou 1 hora? Fuck, passou 10 minutos. God damn it. I hate video games. Eu acho que vou meter o Minotaur ali então, tá bem. I guess. Todas as vezes que esta base for atacada, o Minotaur ajuda. Do Xalá. Não rotem, faz mal. Ui, posso trazer o Minotaur por aqui? Dólar! Já posso meter o Cannon. Digging laser. Adds terrain manipulator. E isto. E finalmente o braço. O que é que isto faz? Só falta o AI. Eu já tenho naninhos nanovas para me instalar o AI. Demand obedience. I think a monolith hits better. It doesn't like it? You away team. I wish I could go with the away team. Inspect your drone. Where's my drone? I want to go to the anomaly. Por acaso, das coisas. Yeah. Eu gostava que. Eu gostava que a coisa de. Este arc do settlement fosse bem fixe. Que é das coisas que. Não sei, acho piada. Ora bem, vim aqui estou com os meus brosevs. Mission target is in another system. Ok. É como another castle da Peach. Da Peace? Estico lá Peace. Agora o Minotaur já posso pôr um AI no gajo. That's gonna be cool. Estou aborrecido, mas não sei o que fazer. Vê um shitty streamer a jogar um shitty game, o que é que achas? Resulta sempre. Ele a fingir que está a fazer um elogio, mas obrigado na mesma. Só o attempt chega para mim. Ora bem, não é multitool, é Exocraft. Para vir aqui ao meu amigo Minotaur. Fuck yeah, Quantum Computer, Antimatter. Now, how about those multi-tools? Mais damage a quem está stun. Isso é bom porque eu dou-lhe stun. Se bem que o que eu devia mesmo fazer é outra coisa, mas pronto. Weapon clip size, I don't care. Ricochet. Eu já não tenho isto. I don't know, man. I don't want any more weapons. I'm happy with my weapons. Se bem que mal o Minotauro chegou, fodeu-me logo a puta da boca toda, né? Virou-me ao contrário, pai, 3 vezes, mas está-se bem. Alguma coisa para o exosuit? Wait, I didn't know I could do this. Mas vale tarde que nunca. Isto é para o aeration membrane. I don't really care about that. How about that? Livestock Unit. Aí eu quero ter gado. Fuck yeah. O que é isto? Sphere Creator. What the fuck are you talking about? These guys are insane. Canídeo, canídeo. Canídeo, canídeo. Estás a precisar de miminhos? Eu já vou aí dar-te miminhos. E quem diz miminhos diz miminhos mesmo. What am I doing? Por que eu não me teleportei? Ui, vou ficar em cima da moto. Bate moto! Onde é que está o Exocraft? Será que tenho que dar summon? Porque eu não tenho a base de... Se devia ter a base. This is so cool. AI? Where is computer? Tá aqui. How do I make the microprocessor? Carbon nanotubes. No. Antimatter. Enganei-me. Now, how does this work? AI Autopilot Active. O que é que ele vai fazer? Seguir-me? Ainda falta aqui uma... Oh, que caralho, a nave está à frente. Olha, obrigado. Minha sorte é que os launch thrusters agora já tenho um upgrade para eles irem regenerando, I guess. E lá, veio atrás de mim. Tenho um Brosef. bem mais maior que eu. Será que se eu me deixar por aqui vão aparecendo problemas para resolver? Faltam 30 minutos. Pois, estou fodido. Ei, ó, Exo Motherfucker, como é que é? Por acaso curto para caralho os saltos. São bastante épicos. Mas ele anda muito devagar, não é? Acho que não há botão para andar depressa. Olha, ao menos este gajo consegue fazer. Não tem o bug do. Não consegui fazer. Survey. Como é que está o status? Está uma merda, não é? Como é que eu sei? Como é que passa um dia? A dívida está a aumentar. Isto é o braço do Minotauro, não é? Como é que se desativa o... E agora? Agora não quero fazer nada até... podia chamar o Freighter? Fragraga? É um fur qualquer. Ei, dá-me boleia. Jesus. Que é isto? É a minha? It's my capital ship. But I want to call it here. Here. Aí agora já dá. Pois é, contratei mais uns filhos da puta. Foda-se. Esta música. As outras, portanto, soavam a que tinham sido feitas no. Como é que se chama? No Fruity Loops. Esta parece que foi feita no Music, o jogo da PlayStation. 3 horas. Não me apetece falar com... Estou a ver onde é que eu ponho... Olha, esta Expedition acabou, acho eu. Just keep it real, bro. Tá fixe. Eu tive para desligar isto, ainda bem que não desliguei. Isto dá para um Tony Hawk, meu. Diz lá. They ain't even real, man. Quem é que eu tenho aqui available? Uma Science Vessel e uma Mining Vessel. Será que o tempo fica mais curto? 28 horas. Se eu levar os seus gajos, imagina. Fleet rating. These guys suck. Epá, eu cheiro-me que eles vão se foder bem. Ui, que esta treta, não tem espaço para nada. É só tones. Tantos tones. Eu acho que vou pô-los na mais fácil. Nenhum deles era combat, não é? Os industrials estavam ocupados, não era? Na verdade não estavam ocupados. Tenho um de cada. Enfim. Nunca mais, mano. Nunca mais vem as coisas. Agora, eu acho que o tempo passa com o jogo desligado, por isso. É mesmo o telemóvel game. Telemóvel game. Enquanto não se faz nada, eu devia fazer outras coisas, não é? Tipo outras. I don't know, quests ou whatever. Or whatever the fuck. Mas apetece, olha, apetece-me meter uma. Espetar uma merda qualquer no Pip. Hey, how you doing, my bro? It's my bro Minotaur. Ow! What's happening? Also, where's my bike? Pilgrim. Unimpressed with life? Am I supposed to talk with the guy? Since I'm the El Presidente. That guy is resting. He's unimpressed by me? Die! Oh, I can kill them? Stupid game. Can't even kill my opposers. O que é que eu meto no Pip? Man, tinha aqui uma cena, mas acho que está um bocado heavy. I like heavy though. Porquê que tem uma coisa ali a rodar? Ah! Eu quero... Sorry. Ah, eu quero ver isto.
In my last video, we took a close...
Peep. My favorite trans person. It's not my favorite. I hate her. She sucks. I'm joking. I don't hate her. She's alright.
look at Resident Evil's first side game, Survivor. An enjoyable, low-budget first-person shooter with some of the worst voice acting you'll ever hear in a video game. It also did not release with the controller it was designed for in its biggest market. Even after getting universally panned at its release, somehow, Survivor gained its own sub-series, the Gun Survivor Saga. The following title, Gun Survivor 2: Code Veronica, feels even lower budget than its predecessor, given its lack of voice acting, story, and complete asset reuse from its source material. Despite it being a Japan exclusive, I have played it, and I think it's absolute crap. After that travesty graced the world, we'd get the third entry to this series, Dino Stalker, a title that is more of a sequel to Dino Crisis 1 and 2 than that franchise's third game. The fourth and final Gun Survivor game is, in fact, the subject of today's video. Dead Aim.
69% ready. It's pretty loud.
Dead Aim, or as it's known in Japan, Biohazard Gun Survivor 4 Heroes Never Die.
What a good name.
That is the very real title of this game in Japan. Is a first-person, third-person zombie shooter taking place on an abandoned cruise liner stranded at sea. A literal ghost ship, if you will. Fun fact, this is the second released Resident Evil game taking place on an abandoned cruise liner. It would not be the last boat Resident Evil game. You'll see. It gets way too out of hand. This title was developed by Kavia, a popular outsourcing company that Capcom and Square Enix had utilized throughout the early 2000s. Kavia is a storied developer in its own right, developing some of my favorite lower-budget video games. Titles like Dragon Guard 1 and 2, Ghost in the Shell PS2, Bullet Witch, Bayonetta's socially awkward cousin, the Resident Evil Chronicles games, and my personal favorite of them all, a little-known title, simply known as Nier. Papa Nier is better than Brother Nier, and I don't care what you have to say about it. Sadly, Kavia went out of business in 2010, shortly after finishing Yoko Taro's masterpiece that would go on to make butts even more popular than they had ever been. And thank God, because I love butts. Their legacy in developing games, both memorable and not perfect by any means, will never be forgotten. Well, at least not by me. Like Survivor, Dead Aim doesn't have a whole lot of published dev history because the company that made it went out of business, so there's not a whole lot of people around from the Kavia days to talk about it. Dead Aim was announced in 2002 as a Japan exclusive like Gun Survivor 2. It was unclear at its announcement if it would ever come to the West, but eventually we would get confirmation closer to the game's actual release. Dead Aim unfortunately released to a pitiful amount of sales and mixed reception. I think at this point in time, people were just kind of tired of playing first-person Resident Evil games. Man, how the times have changed. Hey, it's better than Survivor's overwhelmingly negative reception, right? So yeah, let's take a deep dive into the vast open sea of insanity that is Resident Evil Dead Aim. Dead Aim is the first Resident Evil title that actually removed the iconic Resident Evil title call. Why? No one knows, but it still sucks. Man, I sure am glad I had Casetify to protect my phone. Casetify is a premium smartphone case company that makes some of the toughest cases out there. Casetify's very own Chi-Tech 2.0 is designed to absorb as much impact as possible. Every impact and ultra impact case is made with 65% recycled plant-based materials. Browse a variety of amazing pre-built designs at different impact protection levels, or customize your own case. I got this cool powdery case that moves around, creating some really pretty designs. So if you, a friend or family member, are in the market for a new phone case, go to casetify.com/spherehunter to get 15% off your purchase. That's casetify.com/spherehunter. Never fear dropping your phone again, unless it's in front of a zombie. Dead Aim is a hybrid third-person adventure first-person shooter. I've got to be honest with y'all, the controls for this game are crazy, so bear with me as I solve the hard difficulty puzzle that is describing Dead Aim's control scheme. Dead Aim can be played with the GunCon 2. Again, I unfortunately don't have access to this option, but yeah, America actually got the GunCon for this specific game, so that's cool. Alongside the GunCon and standard PS2 controller, Dead Aim can also be played with one of these. That's right, Dead Aim is one of the few PS2 games where you can plug a mouse directly into the console and aim that way, essentially emulating the GunCon's superior control. Ancient PS2 technology, CRT TV, No, all you need is a $20 Amazon mouse. So movement and exploration takes place in third-person view, while firing your gun happens in first. Hitting R1, pulling the gun con's trigger, or clicking the left mouse enters aim mode where you manually aim at your enemies. Unlike Survivor, you can actually control the aim camera by pressing left or right on the controller, rotating your view. Aim mode also sees you locked in place, but we'll talk about this more in a second. I have to explain something else first. Something very specific, so give me a minute. You still move your character dynamically through the environment, but this time you get way more control in the directions you can move. Dead Aim uses tank controls, the major difference being that running is your default speed. This is where an all-new gameplay mechanic is introduced: sneaking. Holding down L1 activates this stealthy mode. Your tank-like movement is the same input-wise, but you're essentially walking. This is communicated to you by your character tiptoeing around zombies. It's kinda cute. Dead Aim mostly takes place on a boat stranded at sea. The lights on this tub are almost completely out, so stealth gameplay feeds into and creates a pretty wild atmosphere. Seeing your character slowly creep around or even through hordes of unaware zombies is hella tense. The control complication comes with Dead Aim's second sneak button. Holding down L2, again, makes you walk slowly, but this time you can't turn like you can with tank control. Instead, left and right lets you strafe. Yeah, you actually have to use two separate buttons to essentially do the same thing for different directional movement. For as insane as its basic movement is, Dead Aim's omnidirectional input on L2, believe it or not, translates perfectly to shooting. Like I mentioned before, entering aim mode on a controller allows camera rotation and vertical crosshair movement on the right stick. However, if you hold down L2 while aiming, you can move while shooting in any direction. The game actually feels pretty modern on a controller. Having camera control on the right stick and full directional movement on the left, you fire with R1 while holding down L2. It feels like you're playing a new shooter in Iron Sights mode. Surprisingly enough, it's all pretty great once you wrap your entire brain around these controls. This is the first RE game that lets you move while aiming your gun. It's pretty cool. Granted, all of that superior modern control feel goes out the window once you're back in third person.
Eu achava que o primeiro tinha sido
You
Revelations.
can't control the camera or rotate your character with the right stick like in first person mode. In my Survivor video, I talked about how I wished that game's developer would have copied GoldenEye for its first person movement and shooting. Here, I wish Dead Aim would have copied Halo's movement style. You know, the game that pioneered tangible first person movement on two sticks. Just give me full control over the camera and my character's movement in both perspectives. It doesn't make any sense. I get it wouldn't work too well on the gun con, but even after playing the game for hours with the mouse, I discovered that you don't even have full aim control on that option either. After trying every method, controller was my preferred mode.
Tudo sempre a
of play.
perguntar o que é que
Don't
queres
mean to
ver, mas tu não
brag,
queres ver
but
nada.
I don't have issues aiming with a
Comigo.
controller. I've played a lot of console arena shooters for like 20 years, so, you know, get good, scrubs. No matter what you choose, it's all very cumbersome for almost no reason other than Japan not wanting to trend chase Western design at the time. God, we've come so far with game design. It's kinda crazy. Editor's note, I'm the editor, by the way. That Ghost in the Shell game that Kavia made came out a year after Dead Aim, and it has Halo controls. So, yeah. Oh, before I forget, you can also dodge like RE3, but it actually works really well. Maybe a little too well. Hit L1 when an enemy gets close to you, and you'll pull off a sweet crouch or breakaway. It's quick and snappy and feels good to perform. It totally adds to the game's intense action vibes. Now that we've talked far too much about character movement, let's talk about some of the weapons you'll be taking aim with. Even though Dead Aim is a first-person shooter, it's still very much a survival horror game, which I couldn't really say about its predecessors. This time, like the typical Resident Evil, no gun has infinite ammo, which means you actually have to conserve your resources. Pistols need ammo alongside other special weapons, and the standard arsenal makes its return. A shotgun, grenade launcher, an assault rifle, and of course, a big, fat Magnum. To me, the most interesting heater is the silenced pistol. I love how stealth was a real focus for the devs, not only in adding the option to sneak around, but stealthily take down monsters. It plays into the concept of ammo conservation too. If you've got a group of zombies in front of you and not much ammo, break out the silencer, headshot a few goobers, sneak by the rest. A potential issue that comes with stealth is its overall purpose in the minute-to-minute gameplay. It is undeniably useful for saving your ammo, but from what I've found, not completely necessary in the long run. This game also has the classic RE save rooms, which by the way, comes stocked with a surplus of pistol ammo. Obviously, you'd usually save your big guns for big guys, but Dead Aim is absolutely packed with hordes of zombies. I asked a few of my hardcore Resident Evil friends how they played Dead Aim, and to my surprise, almost all of them didn't even know stealth was an option, which means you can make it through Dead Aim basically blasting everything. The game does give you a lot of other resources too. In my recent playthroughs, I took advantage of stealth whenever possible, and it left me with an ungodly amount of heals and ammo that I could barely carry. Dead Aim has a limited ammo inventory system, so if you're fully stocked on your pistol and want some shotgun shells, you can swap a pack of handgun rounds for those shells, which should go even further in proving to you how much ammo there truly is at any given point, making stealth
Sentinel
even
lore
less
or whatever.
compelling and progressing through the game. It's interesting to think about, but it mostly comes down to how you want to play. I kinda love the idea of a Resident Evil stealth game, so that's usually how I play Dead Aim, but you're also open to battling it out whenever you see fit. A very clear memory I have of Dead Aim was when I first played it close to its release. I remember encountering the very first zombie, a fairly basic businesswoman who I guess hanged herself during the outbreak. This scenario sets up a predictable scare, with you having to pick up a key card from another body in the same room. Of course, once you do this, you can hear the woman falling free behind you. What I wasn't ready for was her spine-chilling, dead moaning.
What?
This right here scared the shit out of me. I don't know who they got to do the female zombie voice, but gosh darn, they actually sound dead. It's so creepy. Guys, Dead Aim is filled with zombies. There are so many of these shambling goofballs standing in your way, and I absolutely love it. Dead Aim zombies are probably the grossest in the classic series. The very present green tint to their skin and clothing give them a uniquely aquatic, rotting vibe. This design aesthetic plays perfectly into this abandoned ship's dark atmosphere. For most of the game, you'll be fighting these guys, but there are special enemies like hunter variants and a plethora of boss monsters. There's not a lot of enemy variety, and for the first time
Anda cá,
ever,
filha da
I'm kinda
puta.
glad there isn't. You spend most of your time on a boat and underwater, so things like zombie dogs and spiders don't make a whole lot of sense for the setting. I do think not including an aquatic licker is a big missed opportunity since stealth plays a prominent role in Dead Aim. Imagine creeping down a swaying dark corridor after just escaping a horde of zombies, and then hearing a demonic licker sigh. You'd be frantically trying to find the source of the sound in the darkness. But no, there's nothing there. Until you try to leave the room and it claws your face off. The common zombies act very erratically, can go turbo, and do a good job at stumbling out of the way of your crosshair. Zombie behavior is varied enough for them to feel like a fresh threat throughout the game. The devs clearly put a lot of time in making these zombies unpredictable, because having the ability to aim well enough to pull off manual headshots would make the game far too easy if these corpses just stood right in front of your gunfire. Since this is actually a survival horror game with limited ammo, aiming for center mass instead of always going for the headshot is imperative for creating space and making it by your enemies. Even though there aren't a ton of different enemies, I would have loved to see a few freakazoid fishes. Give me like a mutated blue whale, or how about a two-headed shark or something? I don't know. Dead Aim's level design is fairly basic RE stuff. Some okay backtracking, key hunts, and opening your map every 2 minutes to check your location. A small detail I love about Dead Aim
já fizeste o vídeo
para
sobre Killer 7?
Unlocked doors before you even click on them. You no longer have to waste your time jiggling the door handle to see if it's locked. They just tell you. Dead Aim's also got a pretty phenomenal in-game map that clearly labels every room, usable door, and current objectives. A streamlined take on Resident Evil's navigation system that very much works hand in hand for this title's faster pace. To talk about the rest of the game's levels would require us to dive deeper into the story. If Survivor's story was completely insane, Dead Aim's is absolutely unhinged. Dead Aim begins on an abandoned ship known as the Spencer Rain, an Umbrella-owned tub operating as employee transport across the Atlantic Ocean. Our main character, cool guy Southern gentleman and US Stratcom agent Bruce McGivern, who by the way is not played by Ethan Hawke, is on a mission to contain a recent T-virus outbreak on this ship. The outbreak was caused by an angry ex-Umbrella employee who just so happened to be framed for the Raccoon City disaster. Bruce is currently held at gunpoint by said villain. Morpheus Duval.
What do you plan to do with the T-virus?
I'm afraid that's all the playtime you have for today. Die.
The situation looks pretty sketchy until a nearby mystery woman throws a grenade, forcing Bruce to hit the deck while Morpheus tanks a majority of the shrapnel.
Onde é que está a minha nave?
Oh, there he goes. Sephiroth down, people. After the explosion knocks him on his ass, Bruce heads inside the boat. Sneaking around a few zombie hordes and finding a key, Bruce meets up with our mystery girl. Oh, did I say he meets up with her? I meant to say he gets his ass kicked by her.
Oh, wait, you saved me earlier. You're Chinese security bureau, huh? Looks like we're in the same business.
Bombas. Ganda Shanli, meu. Olha para aquilo.
That makes sense since you're blackmailing both of our groups.
Oh god, is it just me or is Bruce's neck a little messed up? So, Fong Lin is a Chinese agent who happens to be on a similar mission.
Só se vai ser tão interessante que tu vais tipo beber uma Coca-Cola ou caralho, nunca mais vais aparecer.
And a global terrorist plot.
Depois eu vou-te
So, the
perguntar,
voice
então,
acting in
gostaste?
that
E tu,
game isn't
não estive aqui.
bad, per se. It's just bizarre. Bruce's southern accent lights my soul on fire every time I hear him speak. He's actually voiced by this game's co-composer, Raj Ramaya, a very cool dude responsible for creating a ton of classic anime theme songs, including some of the OST from Cowboy Bebop's movie, Knockin' on Heaven's Door, which is so sick. Yeah, that's Bruce McGivern singing those songs. By the way, Raj is not from the American South, if that wasn't obvious by his accent. If an RE game isn't badly acted, it's badly accented. Anyway, after getting wrecked, we explore more of the ship. We power on all of the electronic locks to the guest rooms, head through a cozy casino, find a shotgun in a zombie-filled kitchen, and head outside where we discover a closed panel that leads deeper into the belly of the ship. The panel requires a valve to open, so we head back inside. I can't stress enough how good Dead Aim's atmosphere is. The very subtle swaying of this dead tanker's environment, coupled with synthy horror stings, does an amazing job at emphasizing the dark mystery lying in wait. After reading a file detailing the location of the valve, we head over to the boat's storeroom, where we're ambushed by something big.
Há de escabir. Nip nip buds.
How could any video game character look this horrifying? Oh my god, look at his neck. It is messed up. I think Fong hit Bruce a little too hard. She may have dislocated this dude's neck.
My settlement.
Should have left by now. Somewhere in America, there's a kid stuck in the tree, desperately needing your help.
Fong Lin
What does that mean?
we just found as we get to play as her.
Ganda voice
We
acting.
basically race Bruce back to the closed panel. Fong has the assault rifle in this section, and going from Bruce's slower weapons to Fong's blazing fast rifle, cutting down entire hordes of zombies, makes her feel like she's one step ahead of our leading man. My favorite thing about running back through the boat is seeing these once empty hallways now filled with walking dead. As Bruce catches up to Fong Lin, we see Morpheus in a security room unleashing a duo of hunter elites. I'm sorry, I can't get over his busted ass neck. It's like his neck bone isn't rigged properly to his model. This battle is treated like a boss fight, and it's very lame.
Starship.
These specific hunters are just more powerful versions of basic enemy hunters that show up later. A few shotgun shells, and they're done. After taking down the elites, we see Morpheus currently going through it.
Never try.
What else can I build here?
Oh snap, I can't wait to see his electrical mutation. I bet it's gonna be gross and scary. Wink wink. In the bowels of the ship, we battle through pitch black corridors, take an
We do
elevator
that
up,
by
and find ourselves in a
constructing
presentation
buildings.
room. There's a file here explaining a few of the creatures we've encountered earlier, like the new hunter variant and the tyrant that slammed Bruce against the storage room wall. I'm sorry, I meant to say Thailand. It quote-unquote attacks with its huge arms. Part of the file also delves into a new virus, a combination of the T and G viruses that have electrical results. That must have been the concoction that Morpheus injected himself with.
scared little rats with an ugly, useless gun. Morpheus?
So, Morpheus literally transitioned to female after injecting herself. Hold on. T plus G? The TG virus? The trans girl virus? I think Umbrella put a little HRT in that new combination. There's actually a really cool fan theory about how viruses in the RE universe work, and I think it totally applies to Morpheus. The theory goes that each virus affects a subject differently depending on their personality type or immediate environment. William Birkin in RE2 is very mad about Umbrella betraying him and stealing his life's work. That rage is represented in his G-virus mutation, an unrelenting monster whose rage cannot be stopped. You even see the monster and man fighting for control. Irving in RE5 is a low-level businessman who everyone steps on to get at his money. When he mutates, he becomes larger than life, a physical representation of how he's always wanted to carry himself. Morpheus is a villain obsessed with the concept of beauty. She's always going on about it. Her mutation being a feminine form equipped with ballistics, a higher voice, head tentacles in the shape of long, beautiful hair, and my favorite detail, her clicking, organic, high-heeled feet all suggest that on the inside, Morpheus feels like a woman, potentially making them a trans character. Jumping ahead a little, the other characters don't really comment on this. It's not played as a joke either, like so many other cowardly pieces of media from the 90s and early 2000s. It just kinda happens, and at no point is Bruce like, "Hey, Fong, why the hell has Morpheus transitioned? I don't get it." I'm certainly not gonna imitate Fong Lin's accent. I honestly can't believe I'm discussing whether or not a character in a Resident Evil game is trans. But hey, a lot of fans believe this is the case, and I'm inclined to as well. It's kinda cool.
Up yours, woke Morpheus. We'll see who cancels who.
So Morpheus is kind of a pursuer monster in this part of the game. She can't be killed, so you just have to run away looking for a specific key. There's a total Looney Tunes moment where Bruce has to crowbar open a series of boxes to find a key card. But it's random, so Bruce is just like, "Hey, give me a minute. I gotta crowbar these crates open, bro." Ma'am, I swear I didn't do that intentionally. I'm an ally, I promise." Seeing Morpheus flail at Bruce and then robotically
Quarantine?
stand there waiting for him to get back up is also unintentionally hilarious. After finding a keycard and opening our escape, Bruce runs into Fong. God, Bruce runs like such an idiot. Oh my god, his neck! As Fong Lin, we power up the door, letting Bruce through and locking Morpheus
Que o bocado do
behind.
meu Minotauro é
How
tipo
many
mega
times
forte,
are you
não?
expecting me to save you, mister?
Come on, what are friends for? I'm just trying to help you build up your confidence.
God, it's so cheesy, but I just love it. I love Bruce and Fong's chemistry. This game reminds me so much of an early 2000s spy movie. As we make our way back to the guest area, we get to the boat's control room.
Oh no!
Okay, I take back everything I said a second ago. What is he, 6 years old? Oh no? Man-child. On the outer deck, we battle this game's tyrant, and it sure is disgusting. Its gnarled teeth, stretchy fingers, and back pustule gross me out. Ugh, it makes me sick to my stomach. Not to mention, when you shoot at its back sore, an ungodly amount of blood shoots out everywhere. The tyrant kinda just rushes at you with overwhelming attacks. Down it with some magnum fire, and then shoot its pus sac with your shotgun, and you'll take it out in no time. After this, the Spencer Rain is on a crash course to collide with a nearby island. Bruce jumps ship with an amazing early 2000s cutting frames effect.
What? Needs a mind before he can flourish. Já tem AI? Paralysis mortar.
Bruce's walk through this lonely town, underscored with moody synths, got me so hyped to see what was coming next. It's a boring-ass sewer level. No, seriously, this part of the game totally sucks. It's a maze of similar-looking waterways that lead to an even more confusing series of brown hallways. Bruce finds some working radio equipment down here and contacts HQ. They tell him that this facility is housing missiles filled with the T-virus. They're all aimed at major cities across the globe. Morpheus is essentially holding the world hostage. We also see Fong Lin sneaking through the sewers, encountering a massive blind creature. This is the Pluto Tyrant. From here we play as Fong for a bit as we find a helipad. A strange red light is shining down from up above us.
X, olha aí.
This is the second time Bruce has straddled this poor woman with his busted neck.
Get off of her, you creep.
Bruce removes a tracking device from Fong's arm, because now the Chinese government is trying to take her out since America won't pay ransom money to Morpheus. She's expendable. Why is there a satellite laser? Maybe I'd understand the ransom thing better if I could actually hear what Bruce's contact was saying over the radio. The subtitles don't help either because none of them line up with the game's spoken dialogue.
Oh, wait, you saved me earlier.
Big business doesn't mean same side, Bruce McGivern.
Cooperation is too much to ask for on our first date. Might I suggest we simply stay out of each other's way?
Should have left by now. Somewhere in America, there's a kid stuck in a tree.
Ok, eu vou buscar.
Needing your help.
To be honest, eu sei que tenho.
How did this get past testing? As the two make their way to an elevator leading to Morpheus's secret lab, Pluto cuts us off. Pluto is a hard-hitting bullet sponge, but the awesome thing about this battle is it's entirely possible to get through it in stealth. Land every shot perfectly on its exposed brain, and this thing will go down in about a minute. Again, this creature makes me sick to my core. Look at all that rotting
não vou
blood
beber agora,
covering
já é
the
tarde.
entirety
Tem
of this
café.
boss arena.
Ina.
It does make a pretty ridiculous noise if it hears you, though. Look at him prancing around. It's the most disturbing and stupid thing I've ever seen. As the elevator descends into the deep sea lab, Morpheus shows up, cutting the lift's cable. Okay, imagine being in a game store in 2003 and seeing this guy.
That's fraco.
Man, he's so cool. I have to buy this game
fuck?
just to see what he's all about. What cool things is this Paul Walker wannabe up to? Then you play the game and see this face, this dislocated neck, toilet bowl white teeth, skinny ass broken wrist fool. I just can't get over how insane Bruce
que eu sei
looks
que não
in
tenho
every
amigos, né?
cutscene. It's like a gift and a curse. What is that hand though? The last part of this game takes place in the lab. Morpheus's lab is not unlike other RE labs, but I feel like the devs put extra time into this game's finale. It's not just a run to the finish line. You fight an insect swarm boss and do a few different puzzles like opening a voice-activated lock. Yeah, they just recycled that one from Resident Evil 3. And Bruce finds a legit laser rifle, a weapon strong enough to pierce Morpheus's diamond skin. The final battle is pretty cool. You have infinite ammo, and it's fun seeing Morpheus flip all over the place, knocking Bruce on his ass. After taking out the Dancing Queen, Fong Lin stays behind, guiding Bruce through the lab to find and disarm the T-virus missiles. At this point in the story, Bruce kinda drops the accent and just growls out every line. Before literally vanishing from the room, we see Morpheus back at it, mutating even further. Approaching the missile silo, Morpheus makes her grand return as a horrifying blob of
She's
flesh.
so annoying.
Her head actually pops out of the blob, and you have to shoot at it, forcing it back inside the disgusting mass. It looks so disturbing, fitting for a villain obsessed with beauty to end up becoming a walking piece of shit. After a while, Morpheus just kind of gives up, and we get this fantastic one-liner.
Sorry, my bad, Carlos.
Why did my dude come with me?
Morpheus
I can
grows
use...
to an unbelievable size and actually absorbs the explosion from the missiles.
Jesus, where's my friend?
Looks like we accomplished our mission. Finally, come with me to America. There's nothing left for you in China.
No, I'm going home. I belong to China.
I can't point to him.
Au revoir. I'm truly an idiot after all.
You know what it really means?
I've been in your country once.
That was not in the dossier.
And then they fuck. By the way, shout out to all the fake fans that say Resident Evil is a loveless, sexless franchise. Dead Aim is like a 007 movie, but with horrible monsters. I think it's the weirdest RE title, even taking 6 into account. The story is downright bizarre. Bruce and Fong are like a 99-cent store version of Leon and Ada. Dead Aim's theme song is a very of-the-time Japanese rap rock track called Gunshot by a band named Rise. I probably can't play the song out of fear of copyright, however. I don't think it's very good. The hook of the track goes, shot, shot, gunshot, gunshot. I know, very inspiring lyrics. Interesting thing about this song was it was never supposed to be in this title. Raj Ramaya, the sort of co-composer to Nobuyushi Sano, actually made an original piece of music that would have served as the game's theme song. I like it a lot more than Shot. The lyrics are about Fong Lin not being able to leave with Bruce at the end of the game. Its synthy mood and vibe fit Dead Aim a hell of a lot better than some early 2000s Edge. The sad part is, I guess the higher-ups at Capcom at the last minute cut this song from the game and replaced it with Rise's track. It's very unfortunate, but I'm glad that the original piece of music is out there in some capacity. So again, shoutouts to that man Raj. You did good. I've been trying to figure out why this game has such horribly unpolished animation in its cutscenes. It can't be a budgetary constraint, could it? Well, I guess it was, because the craziest thing about Dead Aim is that I pretty much showed you all of the game. Much like Survivor, Dead Aim is about an hour and a half long. It's another afternoon game for this sub-series. The major issue here is the lack of multiple branching paths. Dead Aim has one story and one set of levels, so unfortunately there isn't a whole lot of replay value. You can, of course, unlock infinite ammo for your guns and start a New Game Plus file as Fong Lin, but that doesn't make for a different gameplay experience. Both characters are exactly the same. I would have liked to see the multiple paths and cutscenes from Survivor expanded for Dead Aim. Like I mentioned at the start, Dead Aim was the death knell for the Survivor sub-series. It sold almost no copies, and most people haven't even heard of it. I wish I could say that was a shame, but it kind of isn't. I like the game a lot, but the amount of content you were getting was unacceptable to justify its price tag at the time. I mean, if you have a PS2 emulator, it's free $99, and definitely worth an afternoon of playtime. So yeah, maybe check it out. You could finish it in like 2 hours. Don't you want to experience Bruce in all of his glory firsthand? For all its faults, Dead Aim does what most RE side games tend to do. Charm you with its outrageously bad voice acting and weirdo story, while also delivering an interesting gameplay experience. Is it enough to satiate the average
The fuck
gamer?
is that video?
Probably not, because there's a trans woman in
Damn.
it.
Pensava que gostavas de Resident Evil.
But that's a story for another time. I was really surprised by the reception on my
Qualquer pessoa que
Survivor
conhece Resident
video.
Evil conhece esta
I thought it was
pessoa.
really cool reading comments, seeing people thank me for giving that game a spotlight. Actual Survivor fans came out of the woodwork to celebrate that game with me, despite how universally panned it's been throughout the years. I hope you guys enjoyed this special two-part
What is killing me?
retrospective
Oh,
on Survivor and its
the environment.
Dead Aim isn't the best game out there, but it strived to be different. It did something unique with Resident Evil, even before RE4's revolutionary release. The characters are goofy, the story is fun, the music is phenomenal, the atmosphere is great, and I don't know, I just kinda love it, warts and all. I'll never forget you, Dead Aim. Remember guys, heroes never die. Hey everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this look at Survivor and Dead Aim. They are not good games by any means, but
É
I
um
still have a
estranho não
lot of
conhecer
fun
este
with them.
content creator.
Don't
Se
judge me.
gostas
If you like this
remotamente
video, please
de
consider subscribing and
Resident
checking out my
Evil.
Patreon link in the description. Thank you so much to Casetify for sponsoring this video. Alright guys, I'll see you all soon. Have an amazing day. Later.
Nossa, boa noite, tudo bem? Como é que estão essas férias? Onde é que está o meu cão? Desapareceu. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Wait, que música é esta? Must be disconnected. Wait, are you for real? Para além disso, não posso continuar a fazer coisas na base? Aposto que vai ser uma seca do caralho, mas já percebi, já estão a ver. Tu escolhi os vídeos.
This is Dissecting Killer 7, part of a series where I pick apart all the little details that make games special. Whether it be insightful monologues, groundbreaking design philosophies, we will cover it all. I wanted to talk about Killer 7 because it's one of my favorite games. And, having replayed it since the remaster came out on PC, I have a bunch new things to say about it and its relevance to today. I first
This is an
discovered Killer
ESL.
7 reading
Fuck.
Nintendo Power, and you just didn't see M-rated games in Nintendo Power featured this prominently. But yeah, they lay it out for you, and these are the 7 playable characters you get. They each have little profiles, so each have their weapon, their abilities, their quotes. So you already get a sense of who these characters are, and even though most of the dialogue between these characters are just one-liners, it actually does enough to characterize them. It'll
Pensei que
challenge
ia dizer que tinha
your
hidden lore
notions
e
of
depois ia
what
ficar
a
4
game
horas a
is
analisar
and
uma
even what
palavra.
it should do. It is, in essence, the very first video
Just-
game art
E
film,
aquele vídeo do
and
Dark
it
Souls que é
attempts
tipo
things
7
that
horas.
No one else has ever dared. Does it succeed? Perhaps in the end that'll be for history to decide. I don't think I was
Man, I
really
really don't
able
care about
to
what the fuck this
grasp
guy
what that
has to
meant
say.
at the time. Now that the game has been out for so long, I think we can begin to discuss the legacy of Killer 7. Much of the discourse surrounding the game
Também,
focuses on
de
the
que adiantou? Tu não
controls
compraste o jogo na
and
mesma,
nature
por
of
isso
the
who
story.
cares?
But this isn't just some weird for weird sake's game.
Uh,
As I've explored in my Asia Extreme video, this kind of
Viva o
surface level
comunismo,
reading
né?
tends to gloss over the nuance of the material itself. What I
Something
find so
crimson.
fascinating about Killer 7 is that there are no other games like it. This perfect blend of personal expression, genre cinema, and even a little bit of conspiracy theory.
May the Lord smile.
Atlas
and
Beacon?
The devil have mercy.
O que é que isto
Killer
tem para
7
dizer?
takes place in the near future of 2011,
Fly into space.
where Japan and the US are vying for control of the
quantos?
entire
Peraí.
world. The Japanese United Nations Party becomes the target for the Killer 7, a group of assassins controlled by one Harmon Smith. Each member of the Smith Syndicate has their own brief backstories, some more prominent than others, but the game is hardly a character study of these 7 personalities, as most of the characterization is simple and subtle.
F6.
The first mission is effectively introducing the characters and laying out the formula for the rest of the game. These first few levels throw a lot at you, and you don't really have time to process it until you're on to the next thing. What little introduction we get to our playable characters is still shrouded in mystery. We have our first encounter with the Heaven Smile. This is the first one we see, disguised as a kid with some sort of accent?
It's dangerous. My friends are all dead.
We meet Vincel Dil Boris-7 Irazaru for short, who is a helper figure in the game. We know this ludologically because he is the tutorial guy, but also because he holds this reverence to the master, referring to, of course, as Harmon Smith. I think this goes without saying that Irazaru is one of the more striking characters in this game, not for any meaningful narrative reason, but it's very much a part of that Suda-51 milieu. We also meet with Harmon's maid, Samantha, who has this Madonna whore thing going on. At this point, it's unclear who is real and who is not, and there's many different ways the game tries to play with your perception of time, space, and mortality. The objectives of these missions are not to go out and explore these worlds. In fact, the world itself is very toned down, often monochromatic. And it's really guiding you to what's really important. Some things are in photorealistic detail. The reoccurring characters are really what shapes the world around the Smiths.
Right, here we go.
Susie, the dismembered head, is a memorable character because she appears when you least expect her. She always has a key item in her mouth, but before you get it, you must listen to one of her many tragic stories. But these stories are meant to evoke a connection to the wider game world, which turns out to be very similar to the real world as well. Each of these side characters has an absurdist life story that intertwines with the Smiths. They are all people the Smiths have killed in the past, so they are interrogating for those reasons. But as a player, we're also picking up just how violent this world is. The end boss fights always take you through the Vinculum Gate to Battleship Island, which is basically this huge pile of rubble that exists right in between the US and Japan. You seemingly move from time and space to get from the trailer, the hub at the beginning of each level also operates in a similar fashion, with doors connecting to impossible rooms. There's the level with our first scene of Harmon and Kunlan, godlike figures who encapsulate the conflicts between the US and Japan. Harmon representing the Smith Syndicate, and Kunlan, the leader of the Heaven Smile.
Just one?
Sunset is the longest mission, divided into 2 parts, and is mostly concerned with developing the wider issues in the game between the Liberal and the UN party. This is really all about the anxieties between the US and Japan, which is such a complicated history that strains the relationship between both countries to this day. And it's a central theme not only in this chapter, but the entire game.
Mas quantas vezes é que já jogaste on
We,
stream?
as the player, are interrogated about how our decisions affect the fate of Japan as we proceed to kill the leaders of the National Party. But we aren't presented with a moral choice until the very end of the game. We're on rails, literally and narratively. We also encounter many other characters who are radicalized against the Killer 7. Jean de Paul, for example, who is influenced by Mask's wrestling career.
Mas passaste-o todo?
Cloudman to me is one of
E
the
porquê só
more
uma?
interesting chapters
Se não
because
passaste
we
todo é
get
como se não
this
tivesses jogado.
unique Japanese perspective on the
Anda cá,
American
palhaço.
self. Olmeda, the target of the mission, is this weird amalgamation of megachurch pastor, tech genius, and redneck. The mission opens with a terror attack on a big stadium concert, something that hit a little harder to me this time around after the recent Manchester bombings at the Ariana
Tu nunca
Grande
jogaste?
concert. The Killer
És um
7
fake.
go to Texas, where Olmeda's base
Nem
sits
sabia que estou a ver
atop
este
a mountain
vídeo.
overlooking a typical American suburb. This image of the
Ataque
abandoned
da
suburbs
raiva.
completely
Oh,
removed
man.
from the rest of
Quando é que isto
society
acaba?
is an image that has become only more prominent over the years.
assim,
if we think
eu quero
about
continuar a
Breaking Bad,
fazer coisas.
Twin Peaks Season 3. There are cities in America that are completely controlled by corporations, and as we've seen with Google and Amazon, tech takeovers of urban areas are being proposed left and right. So playing this section of the game felt even more relevant to me than it did 15 years ago. The facade of the American dream is taken quite literally by the end. Olmeda and his empire is this big mishmash of American
Acaba o jogo, pá.
technological elites.
This-
This kind of retrofuturism we see when we think about how technological advancements are
onde é que
always
está,
used as the way
então,
to
essa
happiness,
treta?
comfort, and efficiency. We see these figures as corporate entities above the law, or ones with the power to change it. But of course, in the
Off-planet
conspiracy theory ladder
again?
of power, the tech giant lies somewhere
Não estou a curtir
underneath
estas
secret
voltinhas.
government agents because they jump in at the last minute to intercept him.
Parece que está a brincar comigo, caralho.
In a general sense, Encounter is a lot about fleshing out Dan's story, and the US trying to respond to this virus that is turning people into heaven smiles. But it's all the subtle details that make this one of the darkest chapters in the game. The first part of the mission takes place in a carnival, which we learn is part of an underground child
Bem,
trafficking
é amanhã
network,
que vais acabar
which
isto?
our target, Curtis Blackburn, is a part of. Organs harvested from the children are used to make new
Tens
heaven
até amanhã
smiles,
para acabar este
and so
jogo.
the Killer 7 are brought in to disrupt the network. We fight with a lady from the immigration office who turns out to be a Japanese lady abducted by Curtis at a young age and trained to be an anime super soldier. She's the only character in the game that actually speaks Japanese, and her head is not really an anime girl's face, it's just a cosplay mask. The next part of the mission takes
Assim,
place at Blackburn's compound.
ao menos dá-te
The
ao
area
respeito, dá uma
itself
desculpa de jeito, meu
emphasizing just
fogo.
how much of a piece of shit this guy is. And it all comes to a head in a showdown between
Que jogo é que
Dan
eu
and
faço?
Curtis. Our next target is Travis Pearl Harbor, a comic book artist who draws the Handsome Men, a group of 6 men and 2 women put together by the US government to combat the Heaven Smile, which at this point have taken over the country. The strange thing is, anytime Pearl Harbor writes a comic, the events come true in
Oh,
real
filha,
life, and Harmon
já
is
percebi.
the
Onde é que
next
está o
target
gajo?
in the next comic. Similarly to Cloudman, our target is killed before we can get to him, this time by Handsome Black. The mission ends in an 8v8 battle, which is predetermined at the end. You will lose, but Mask will evolve again, and Handsome Pink turns out to be Love Wilcox, a 16-year-old hacker going after the marketing firm that was responsible for Pearl Harbor's death.
Está da frente, ó
Smile
palhaço.
is the climactic end to the story, where the Japanese forces begin amassing an attack
Olha,
against the
morri.
US. Killer 7's target is
Uma
Matsuoka,
masterpiece que tu
but
não
most
jogas.
of this chapter is about learning the secrets of the Killer 7. A lot of the themes and ideas from the other missions rear their head as the story
É como os
begins
livros
to come
também.
together in
que
what
não-
I think is a really satisfying
Ok, já
ending.
chega.
Things happen rather quickly at this point. Christopher Mills is assassinated before he can give away any key information. Garcian then arrives at the Union Hotel, a place we learn where 6 people were killed. He returns to the overpass and meets with Linda Vermillion, a simply fabulous lady who is the protector of the country. We then arrive at Colburn Elementary School, a place used to rig all of the American elections while simultaneously training secret Japanese agents to infiltrate the US government. We also learn about Emir Parkreiner, a student at the school trained to be an assassin. The Ministry of Education are the ones rigging the US elections, using polling stations at schools to make sure the right president is voted in. After one of the more bizarre boss fights, the Killer 7 are executed, and Garcian goes back to the Union Hotel. The player repeats the same process as before, going up floor by floor, but this time revealing the murders of the Killer 7, where it is revealed that Garcian is indeed Emir Parkreiner, and the case he was holding the entire time held the weapons of these 6 other Smiths. 3 years later, Emir Parkreiner travels to Battleship Island to confront Matsuoka, guardian of the door to the final Heaven Smile. He gives you the final decision. Kill him to let the US take over the world, or let him live and allow him to proceed with the Japanese attack on the US. Killer 7 ends in a final confrontation between Harmon and Kung Lao, years into the future. Despite
Ganhou
the
não vale uma
absurdity of
pizza,
the
meu.
narrative, Killer 7 is extremely
Eu digo não vale uma
repetitive
pizza,
in
mas
terms of
afinal
progression.
vale.
The game consists of 5 stages and a prologue, each representing the next target for the Killer 7. We get a shot of the moon. Every mission starts this way and is one of Suda51's recurring symbols throughout his games. It exists to remind the player that the moon is always watching, as we, the player, are also an omniscient
Ainda bem.
presence in this world.
Ainda bem que leste.
Surveillance is a common theme throughout the entire
Já chega
game.
de.
The in-game camera is not fixated
Já chega
on
de tentar
the player
chatear-te.
character, but is instead placed differently from scene to scene, sometimes giving the player a sense of distance from the action. Never at any point in the game are we getting the full perspective of what's going on. The Killer 7 aren't always able to reach their target in time, and the seemingly random characters emerge from the shadows to make these drastic changes that
Que
would be
merda.
impossible to predict. And the Killer 7 themselves, who are always working in the shadows, are not immune from being tricked themselves. They
In
are
this
always
case-
watched and surveyed and manipulated, as
Reload
we learn by the
time.
end, by Garcian and Harmon. As we progress through the game, we are slowly uncovering these different facades, whether it be the power structures, celebrity, and even literally with the use of masks and costume. The political thriller is one of many twists and unknowns because of this long-standing notion that the government is not what it seems. We can tie the birth of the modern conspiracy thought to the assassination of JFK, where suddenly the notions that there were all these mysterious players who had a vested interest in changing the presidency of the United States. The idea that the president was fallible, that there was more powerful agencies at play that could get away with assassination in broad daylight. As we see in Killer 7, the way that the presidents are being chosen by foreign powers in this very extreme and violent way. In Smile, Garcian plays Russian roulette with presidential hopeful Benjamin Keene. This scene really highlights the weakness of the figurehead. It's these layers of systematic abuses that are revealed to us more and more every day since the early 2000s.
Chlorine.
There is a
I
long
don't know
tradition of
I don't know
Japanese
where
media
you get
depicting
that
the
shit.
complex, strained relationship of the US and Japan. The Treaty of Mutual Cooperation and Security between the United States and Japan, also known as the AMPO Agreement, first signed in 1951, details the military occupation of Japan for the sake of maintaining peace in the East. ANPO has a long history in Japan as being controversial and was the cause of the Tokyo riots in 1960 when the treaty was first amended. It was also revised again in 2006, an event that was weighing heavily on the mind of Suda during the making of Killer 7. Suda was tasked with making a game that appealed to both Western and Eastern audiences, so the game's narrative was meticulously crafted to speak to both. It's very easy to go into Killer 7 trying to equate specific characters to places or events or maybe movies he was inspired by. But I think
Eu não vou
each
conseguir
part
arranjar
has
o
to
thruster
find
system.
specific connections. This game has been designed to mean different things to different people.
Apply repair kit. Haha, get fucked.
This country is big. It's too big. Our voices will never be heard.
Killer 7 uses its simple, cel-shaded environment to draw attention to the details with looted or narrative precision. During dialogue, words are repeated by
Tens de jogar
different
isto, meu.
characters to emphasize themes and appeal to the player's worldview. For example, the word terrorism might evoke different memories and thoughts to an American over a Japanese person. While a Western audience would take the focus of 9/11 America, we must also remember the Tokyo subway gas attacks by members of Aum Shinrikyo
Amanhã vou estar à
6
espera.
years prior. The Heaven Smile look and behave like anything you would see out of a Resident Evil game, but they aren't zombies by any means. The Heaven Smile refers to the name of the terrorist organization headed by Kun Lan. The enemies you encounter are considered to be his violent followers that have either willingly or unwillingly been
Ao domingo?
converted to the cause.
Ao domingo é dia de descanso, meu. Nunca ouviste falar de Deus?
Groups and cults is complicated. There's this overlying narrative that people are always taken against their will and then brainwashed afterwards to do these unusual, ordinary activities. While there are certainly many terrorist groups that abduct people to join, there are also many other kind of cult-like groups that fill this void in people's lives, whether it be providing them with community or spirituality. But what we see is that when these groups grow, power structures form, and before you know it, the groups almost close in on themselves and become more
Para quem é
extreme.
burguês?
As
Porquê
you
que
progress in the game,
para ti toda,
the smile become more distorted, less
toda a gente
humanoid,
que tem
and
o que
more
tu queres
difficult to
é
kill?
burguês?
Visually, we see
É
this
a única,
as
literalmente a única
zombie-like
distinção que tu
infestation,
fazes.
but symbolically,
Se tiveres inveja, é
it's more
burguês.
reflective of how radical thought spreads.
That's
Cults
funny.
will often appear to new members promising something to entice them to join, whether, it be enlightenment, community,
Onde é que está a vida real,
love.
meu?
Every Heaven Smile is a living bomb, reflective
Okay,
of
vamos
the
voltar.
first Heaven Smile terrorist attack by suicide bomber. This means that you come in contact with them and they explode. They cackle and laugh, giving away their location despite being invisible. These attacks are very powerful, and you can only really get hit by one or two before you die.
Sarin nerve gas was released on the Tokyo subway during the morning rush hour, choking and blinding 5,500 people, killing 11. The attack, we now know, was part of a much larger plot aimed no less at overthrowing
Foda-se, não estamos a falar de um videojogo?
and starting a world war. These are the people being held responsible.
I want to talk a bit about Aum Shinrikyo, the cult responsible for the Tokyo sarin gas attacks, as well as its founder Shoko Asahara. Aum Shinrikyo's history is long and complicated. Starting in 1984 as a meditation group, Asahara would grow his group through exorbitant membership fees, appealing to the wealthy elite while simultaneously radicalizing the group into a doomsday cult. Asahara shaped the doctrine of Aum Shinrikyo in part from anime and manga such as Battleship Yamato
Aum
and sci-fi
Shinrikyo.
fiction, predominantly the Foundation series. Aum would eventually produce their own material.
New
depicting
citizen
Asahara
proposal
as
ready in
a
32
godlike
minutes.
figure. But a common misconception of Aum is that they were all unintelligent
Um escritor
but
japonês de
cocky.
quem gosto
But in reality,
escreveu um livro
they
sobre
were
esse
some
ataque
of
terrorista no
Japan's
metro
most
de Tóquio.
elite professionals and
Mas já o compraste?
extremely dangerous. The fear, especially because splinter groups
É isto que eu
of
estava à
Aum
espera,
still
então.
exist today, is that these events could happen again. The predominant philosophy of Battleship Yamato, for example, is common throughout many anime and
Oh, ainda
manga.
demora muito
This
até poder
idea
fazer
that
isso.
this ragtag group of youths step up to save the world in the face of a government that won't allow them to. There are several anime cutscenes in Killer 7, directed by famous artists who worked on
Quero testar uma
Angel,
coisa.
Harry Potter movies, And yes, Battleship Yamato. The Tokyo subway attack was a devastating event in Japanese history that highlights this fear of the internal collapse of Japan, the corruption of the elite members of society that we see reflected in Killer 7. Killer 7 is a game that benefits from both an auteurist reading of the game and one that speaks to collective consciousnesses of both the Western and Eastern audiences. Killer 7 is undoubtedly a Suda51 game that cemented his signature style in the West. Everything from his love of cinema, Japanese wrestling, and even flowers are on display in this game, and the producers from Capcom gave him carte blanche to make the game he wanted. Killer 7 has taken on a cult following, much like the subject matter that's honored in this game. It's a dense game and benefits from multiple playthroughs, but it respects the hell out of your time with an average completion time of only 13 hours. Not a single screen in this game is wasted. It's abstract and daring with its narrative, but it's much more than just shock for shock's sake. Killer 7 is a game that appeals to the anxieties we have about our society and privacy, about democracy and capitalism, and of our own free will, no matter what part of the world they are from.
Jesus, que alto, meu, olha aí. Estamos ouvidos. Xiça, tira isto, meu. Até dói. Vamos a meter uma música a sério, meu. Ora bem, deixa só ver o meu teste e depois quero desligar. I'm gonna get some water. Water. A bottle of water. Aguinha da boa, não é conque, é aguinha. Estão tipo 35 graus, amigo, pelo amor de Deus. Por acaso estão 27, mas... You know, same difference. Não precisa estar fresca. Aliás, demasiado fresca até nem é bom. Outra recomendação. Eu sei que ninguém me perguntou nada, mas Acho que outra recomendação também é... Ok, o tempo passa, não é mesmo? Ok, acho que vou fazer uma coisa que é... Vou dormir. Não é dormir, mas vou desligar isto. Checar, umas séries, umas cenas, relaxar. Isto parece aquela música do Get Your Groove On, Get Your Groove On. Como é que se chamava a gaja? Estás a ver que música é, não estás? Shakaya Laquifa? Deve ser o nome dela. Freak On. Get Your Freak On. Missy Elliott, é isso. Laquifa La Chica. Esta música é fake Get Your Freak On. Espetáculo.